at in terms of connection, but we're back in the chat. So hopefully we stay on, but worst case scenario, you missed the dog being higher pitched than a bird. Sounds like it regained power. Of course, I was just playing through the downtime. What else was I gonna do? And then I was like practiced a little bit. But I'm glad I'm back. Emmett, thank you so much for gifting a sub. I hope you're well. We're gonna get this done. We've got some missions to accomplish here. Where's my search function? Why isn't it showing me my search first? Library settings? Generate piece list format. Show number of pieces, clear filter. Like, why isn't it automatically showing me my search? Hawk, thank you for resubscribing. If you're talking about this loading banner. Sorry, I'm telling my father to come inside the house, so that the dog can stop squeaking. New frames? No more tape on my frames? Oh, very nice. Yeah, I put loading here, but, Hawk6 Phoenix, thank you again for resubscribing for 55 months. Emmett, you're nuts, but thank you for gifting 48 subs. It's so appreciated. We're at the end of September. Oh, perfect. Where did I put this? Welcome to the Aperture Science Musical Enrichment Center. Please proceed to song list command and request a musical test of your choosing. Now. Yeah, I'm so weirded out by this. Oh, I must have accidentally tapped filter. Hold on. I'm gonna try to get the dog to get a grip before I start this one. This dog is unable to get a grip because a family member is outside of the house. For once. Now let me see if I can readjust this focus. That looks even better. All right. Nice to see you, Hawk, by the way. I'm going to England for a week and a half. I'll be back in 2 weekends, but I'll have to be off next weekend. Lucy, a good evening to you. Good, very late evening to you. Nice to see. Hope you're well. Hope Interstellar is coming along. Bepsi. hey, nice to see you. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a hot second. I'm going to welcome you back. I'm glad you enjoyed the clappy comments. Yes. Let me bump you up, Pepsi, as a welcome back. From Fire Emblem. How often have I played this? Like twice? I don't remember anything about it, but okay. 5 flats and no worries. It's just nice to see you. Like, glad to see old faces, you know? Know that you're still around. You're still kicking. Emmett, thank you for gifting subs all around. Thank you. Went partying with coworkers 3 nights in a row. I'm not saying this judgmentally, but that seems excessive. Like, that seems like coworkers taking up too much of your personal life. It's just my opinion. Pepsi, thank you so much for that request. That was lovely. I really should tag that. Fire Emblem. This one's chill. This one's very chill. Last played a year ago. That was in fact the 3rd attempt. We meet once a quarter, I'll work from home. Ah, I see. I mean, 3 nights in a row still seems like a lot. Maybe 2. Oh. Well, let's play some music for a hype train, huh? How about some Nightwish? Oh yeah. Oh yo. Valorant. Oh, that was so. Okay, Lion Man, I'll do my best. Hawk Six Phoenix, thank you for the gift subs. What are we gonna do with all these gift subs? Getting into Fire Emblem. Tagami into Fire Emblem Blazing Swords. Nice to see you, Lion Might. We will do our best. I'm like, why is Valorant gifting a sub to me? I mean, that's pretty cool. Not really. It's pretty cool. Yu Peng Chen is a carry. Is the emotional carry here. Peepaw Perfect, thank you for that request. Yes, Lion Might, let's do a priority request. But Hawk, if you've got a request, please feel free. I mean, you're always priority, so. Fresh Breeze of Dawn. Okay, we're gonna give another shot to that one. Thank you so much for Lion Might for requesting this one. This one is the Sumero tracks hit different. They sure do. Especially after that entire storyline with Nahida. I'm gonna try this one again. What's the funniest part of the way that I played the errors that I made just now was the fact that I wrote down the words no G sharp. And you know what kept coming back in and making the notes wrong? I kept playing G sharps. So I do not know why I did not heed this warning right at the top that says no G sharp, but we're going to play it more accurately and perhaps conduct even more tears. All right. Peepa, perfect. I'm gonna refund you on that only because I don't necessarily want my cat to get this shirt covered in fur. It's so rare is a message indeed. Wait. I'll send you a picture of Hope for sure. Lion Might, I thought I would treat you with bonus. Since I don't know how long it'll take me to get the promised playlist to you, I will in the meantime just do it to you live on stream, on my stream. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna shuffle that in there. And Lion Might's a good friend of this channel. Spectacular violinist, but also composer and music producer, and a Genshin Impact connoisseur. Okay, I'm sorry. It's still in progress, but I cannot get over the fact that like I was totally in control of my emotions for the entire story quest. I was gonna stay chill. I was gonna be able to play this and be totally cool about it the whole time. And then she started like singing, and like there was a waterfall on my face. Like it just kind of like burst out of my eyeballs. And so it was, this song was intense. The song was intense. Water feature. You look like you belong on the cover of a symphonic metal band? That is an accurate description of Lion Might, who plays symphonic metal from time to time. And then produces symphonic metal songs. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. It's so funny how much I hated Farina at first. And then, like, in 5 acts, just, like, skewered that opinion in half. And, really gave a character development as not seen before. I don't think, like, at least not a character development, but rather a character reveal. Just, like, incredible work. Insane. They were insane for that. Some more temperance. Sneaked you into my music box arrangement. Sneaked music box arrangement of La Vaiglette. Yes! Yes! Yes, any music that gets played in my home tends to kind of like blast through because there are no carpets, there are no blinds, there are no drapes, there are no rugs, and there are very few walls, and so it just kind of like bangs through this entire hardwood house. Freshly arranged yesterday. Oh, Lion Might, I am so excited to listen to it. I'm flying to England starting tomorrow morning. So I will be sure to check it out. Thank you for sending it. No rugs in the north? Yeah, well, I think we're masochists. Anyway. We're gonna try that again. Streamer song list. Oh. Hawk, do I need to do something for the streamer song list? Wait. I thought I gave us a frag about the mod permissions, but I guess that's not enough. Tiny critter turned debug. Pot message so direly distressed. Gets frustrated when it isn't able to do something. Thank you for the claps. Thank you for the requests. Some more Toho project in tow, if you will. Rapid as wildfires. Let's go. This is a battle theme, and we're going to increasingly do it justice. First, I need the fan on because goodness gracious, this is a lot. By the way, haircut. Haircut like the last refinement on my haircut before I fly. Okay. Anyway, that's all you're getting. My ear pressure is weird. Or maybe this is weird. Is my monitor weird? Okay. keep hearing Rasputin. Yeah, I think that's probably not out of place. It'll be interesting to see as we start going into the nation vaguely based on Slavic nations in Russia. What that music's going to sound like, because there's going to be a huge portion of classical, and then there's going to be like a good portion of other things. And I'm curious to see whether they'll sneak in like a Rasputin reference, because that'd be hilarious. Hawk6 Phoenix, thank you for the requests. Yeah. I'm gonna work on Here Comes the Sun, because this is important that I get this good. We're gonna play an instrumental version today, and it's gonna have a little improvisation. Not much, but a little bit. Hold on. I need to erase something, because, like, I wrote something and then I realized I was wrong. There we go. Way too fast. Okay, nice. That's subtle. That's pretty well settled. I need to test out exactly how this sounds. Followed by this. Thank you for the claps. Daltkiga, hello, welcome to Live Action Pianist Simulator. A good morning to you, if I were to guess your time zone. If you can call 3 a.m. morning. Some Shostakovich, then. Excellent timing. Faust and Organ, a good evening to you. I hope you're well. Shorty. Oh, perfect timing. Yes, I just kind of worked through the Shostakovich. Bepsi, have a good night. See you around. Oh, welcome to the live action piano simulator for anyone who's new, for anyone who's lurking. Hope you find something you like on the song list. There's a lot to be had. Just played some Here Comes the Sun. Just played the Shostakovich waltz. Now for some Toho Project. After that, who knows? Night Sakura. Well, Shorty, do you want to hear Here Comes the Sun again? Just let me know what you want to hear, like, right now. Alright? And I'll play it right after this. This won't take long. Trapped in the cube. Thank you for the birds. More birds. More birds. Absolutely. Thank you for that request, Peepop Perfect. If you don't mind, I'm actually going to drop Gensokyo for today. Or the Me channel theme. Here Comes the Sun for Shorty. We're doing an instrumental version this time. And then Faustian. Yes, we will finish with Sadat Malam. Shorty, I'm glad that you enjoy it. We'll talk more about how exactly I'm going to play this, but there's like some details I want to talk through. But please feel free, like if you have any thoughts right now, write them down, and I will tweak it to exactly as needed. That's important. Welcome back, Faustin from the ad hell. This is Love My Life. Let's see. Thank you for the claps. That doesn't seem right. All right, so. Ashton, thank you for the gigantified emotes. You didn't have to. Thank you for the request. There's probably a lot on the song list that you've never heard of. Thank you for the claps. I appreciate it. The tulips are lovely. They're very lovely. Let's see. Shorty, do you want to hear the waltz before you might have to go? Since it's midnight over there, let's get it done. We're playing around with it a little bit more. So it's going to sound a little different. There we go. It's just about refining to the kind of sound I want it to be. It's gonna keep shifting a little bit, but should be in good shape. Thank you for the claps. We're gonna take the fastest bow break. 30 seconds. Oh my god. The timing. Emmett, nice to see you. Oh, thank you, Peepaw. Emmett, thank you for the raid. Huma, thank you for coming in with the raid. Y'all should follow Emmett if you want something really cool to just chill with. Double hype. Twice the insistence of following. Okay. I'd like to remind myself how to play Blue Wonderful, so let's do this. The bot's secret shout-out command. Breathe is a prayer of some kind. I breathe in, I breathe out, I just breathe. And you're so wonderful to me. Hold on, sorry. My tablet is just stopped recognizing my... There we go. Okay. Every breath is a prayer of some kind. I breathe in, I breathe out, I just breathe. And you're so wonderful to me. Like a swimming in your eyes. I dive in, I dive deep, I just swim. I lose myself in you, blue wonderful again. Don't you know where you go, I will follow. In your footsteps I find my own feet. Addicted like I am to the blues. Kind of blue of all the blues I need. Yesterday sounded someone else's song. 69, summer, 65, summertime long ago. Long before you came, blue wonderful, I know. Go where you go, I will follow. In your footsteps I find my own feet. Addicted like I am to the blues. Kind of blue of all the blues I need. Every breath is a prayer of some kind. I breathe in, I breathe out, I just breathe. And you're so well, blue, wonderful to me. Like swimming in your eyes. I dive in, I dive deep, I just swim. I lose myself in you, blue, wonderful again. I lose myself in you, blue, wonderful, blue, wonderful, blue, wonderful, blue, wonderful, again. Thank you for your lurk, Hawk. Ironically, I don't think I have 1,000 miles. And ironically, I think I have never attempted 1,000 miles. But keep that as a potential live learn for the future. I'm open to playing it. It's just that for some reason, in my nearly 5 years of streaming, by the way, we are approaching the 5-year streamiversary. But somehow in these 5 years of streaming, no one has ever requested 1,000 miles. At least not to my memory. Yeah, future live learn, like I said. Yeah, I needed to kind of like really restore that one. Did someone else a song at 65 summertime long ago? Long before you came, blue, wonderful, blue, wonderful, I know. And just something I left behind. The past far away used to be, but your presence in my blue, wonderful, but your presence my blue, wonderful, presence my blue, wonderful. That's how I want to do that. Okay. Did someone else a song in 65 summertime long ago? Long before you came, blue, wonderful, the blue, wonderful, I know. Just something I left behind. The past far away used to be, but your presence in my blue, wonderful, blue, wonderful to me. Go where you want when you want to. Just don't let the wind tear you free. Stick around the light that brings you home. Don't ever hang around with the breeze. What about 500 miles? Used to do the intro to 1,000 miles as a pedal solo, but just the intro. Faustian organ plays organ, like a pipe organ. If you're into pipe organs, you should absolutely follow that. Thank you, Faustian, again for requesting Blue Wonderful. I love singing it because it sits right at the comfortable, like lowest point of my voice, and I just love singing down there. I think I pull it off a little better each time, which is kind of the point, I guess. Shadow boxer. Never stops being cool. This is such a cool piece. This is by Fiona Apple. Thank you all for the bits. The absolute, the heart flood. Every time I see it on the side of my eye, like, kind of blasting its way through the chat screen, it cracks me up every single time. Thank you, Emmett and Huma, for the bits. For the extra bitty bits. Welcome back, Shorty. Emmett, local bits haver and local provider. Oh, Emmett, thank you. Thank you for putting up with kind of some of the oddities that I don't think I'm executing just right. Let me do something. I'm gonna fix something. If I don't see that note, I won't play it. So we'll kind of like solve that problem, you know? Bum ba da dum bum. And that gets to kind of hide away? Yeah, that kind of gets to hide away. Okay. If you want, we can just keep moving it. I'm gonna keep playing for a little bit. I finally finished my packing today, essentially. Let's do things in this order, and we're keeping the clair obscure together. Now I put down your request for long enough. We're gonna do the Me channel theme, and then we're gonna do it with Darth PJ's marathon. Packing's hard, especially when one does not leave the house very much. But I think we got it. And for the rest, I will survive. Oh, you know what? That's a pretty good question. You know, it'd probably be good for me to know when my flight is. And
Mommy said you said 10 a.m. or something.
Or something like that. Yeah, but I don't remember. Hold on. The flight's at 10:20. I don't know what time we're leaving the house for that to happen. Yeah. How about you tell them if they asked? Tell them that my flight's at 10:20 and to tell me what time we should leave the house to make that happen.
Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. Hold on. Sorry, the first sound was a little. We'll try that again. Just use a backpack. Used to work at an airport. Usually have a clear bag. Yeah, I'm using a backpack. The challenge is preparing a backpack for a week and a half when one of the events is formal. And I'm planning to wear heels. So there's like a good chunk of backpack. It's a good, like, 20% chunk of my backpack. It's a very large backpack. That is formal attire. Like, you don't see me in formal attire very much, but I do actually have formal attire, and if I'm lucky, someone will take a video while I'm playing. That'd be super cool. I'm gonna move those to my folder. Okay. One Summer's Day. Ooh, let's bring this back. There's 3 versions in here. I don't remember which one I use. But you know what? We're gonna find out. Let's just play the... Take a Hello Kitty backpack. What, to England? Two hours before. Yeah. Good evening, Par. Okay, yeah. That is not the version. That is not a version I've ever played before, or that I can remember executing nearly as well. So I'm gonna just make a note here, because I actually have the capability of executing this version now, which is super cool, because I'm pretty sure when I was first playing One Summer's Day nearly 5 years ago, perhaps at least somewhat more than 4 years ago, I don't think that I was able to, like, do this part. Thank you for the request, Darth. I think I just kind of pulled out of nowhere the most complex version I have for One Summer's Day. And we did it! Yeah! Now a little clair obscur, no? Darth, I've never seen you so enthusiastic before. I appreciate it. I recently, because I kind of knew that I'm not going to play this game, out of curiosity, I looked up the general summary of this story, and wow, it is a very specific kind of horrifying depressing that I don't think I could withstand. I'm sure that it's I understand that it's also like a fantastic story, but holy crap. No wonder the soundtrack's devastating. Expedition 33, yes. So when I kind of spotted, basically not, I don't think I even read a summary. What I did was I consumed a premise. Yeah, it's intense. Thank you for the request, Darth. Par, how many live learns are we in? I played 209 songs this month. Nice. Let's see. By the way, Renoir upgraded. Let's throw this into the upgrade chat. No, upgrade records. Clear, obscure, Expedition 33. In progress to familiar. New month, just resubscribed. Oh, that's right. You did just resubscribe. Time for a live learn. Short-term memory loss, you know. Apologies for that. Let's do this. After Clair Obscure, sort of a main track, sort of. We will go ahead with that. Where'd I put this? Upgrade time! Yeah! There we go. Oh my goodness. I will be fixing my download of that soon. Thank you for the request. I'll be fixing the download so that I can turn the pages properly. Part of the wall, let's get this live learned, and thank you again for your resubscription. This is from Hollow Knight's Silk Song, the infamous. Thank you for the claps. Thank you so much for the claps. Alright. Okay. Choral chambers. And I'm gonna get all these specks out of my eyes so that I can actually see the notes. Two flats. Hands not quite parallel, similar. absolute banger. Another banger from Hollow Knight. Thank you for bringing it to me, Part of the Wall. That was glorious. Not my performance of it, but the composition of this is really wonderful. It's really different. And so I hope to do it justice at some point. This will go in as in progress for now. But there's like some really cool stuff that happens well throughout. It's definitely a vibe. Choral Chambers from Hollow Knight Silk Song. Was just in this area after 3 days of working my way to the boss before this place. Say 3 days, it just really felt like that. Oh cool, straight download, right there. Pull it through to open mobile sheets. This is Choral Chamber. It's still going to go under the general album of Hollow Knight, just to make it easier to keep track of where it's coming from. Genres, VGM, Larkin. Absolutely fantastic. And then the upgrade records. This is Hollow Knight Silk Song. Live learn to in progress. It does sound like bosses take days in Hollow Knight, which is kind of like amusing to me as you described what happens when some Dark Souls enthusiasts design a platformer. Sounds about right. Tron Legacy. Oh yeah. If there are no other requests in the queue, I will close out for the night. Apparently I have to get out of here at 7 a.m. Holy guac. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you for the request, Darth. Darth says Tron Ares looks cool. So they're doing another Tron movie. Interesting. Noted. Curious. At some point, I should probably watch a Tron movie. Probably one of them. Right? Thank you for that request. Kind of getting it back into my hands and figuring out where I'm going from there. Thank you, Huma, for that request. For Love by Sophia and Pama. Oh, I should be tagging that as chill. So let's fix that. As I go, I try to update what we've got here. Thank you for the claps. Animated TV series are always more short-lived than they should be. It's really a pity. That one's very close to upgrading, too. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Thank you, Huma, for the hydrate with extra reverb for 10 times the channel points of a regular hydrate. I'm on a plane tomorrow night, and I will be not streaming next weekend because I will be in the wrong country. And then I'll be back. And then we'll be on for the following stream. And in the meantime, I can be reached through the Discord. So here's the Discord link. For anyone who wants to join that. In the meantime, Songlist will reopen while I'm offline, as there are chances for me to get by a piano while I'm there. Not all the time, but it will happen sometimes. No. I'm just kind of saying last words before I play Sadat Malam, and inviting you all to grab your raid calls, for we shall find someone who's twitching tonight. Thank you all for playing the live action piano simulator. We're off for 2 weeks, and then we'll be back. Grab a raid call of your choosing. Welcome back, hot from your lurk. I hope you're well. Thank you, too. Let's find somebody who is twitching this evening. Oh, yeah. Thank you. I would also like to stay alive, but I have a pretty good bark, so I'm probably gonna be alright. I'm just double checking who we're going to raid. We could raid Newbrook. We could raid Juke. Dare Roke is playing live somewhere. Seven Senshi is playing metal flute. Guitar Shredder is doing a late night. The compliments. Piano gig stream. Hold on. Sorry, I'm kind of being bombarded with ads here. Rob Kovacs is on as well. But, yeah, you know what? Newbroke's good. Invalid username because I don't know how to spell. I'll see you soon. I'll be on the Discord occasionally with cat pictures and maybe other pictures of myself. I'll see you around. Take care and have a good night.